Hello everyone, my name is Kellye Duckworth. I'm here with our founder, Mike Mulrooney. This is another episode of Shirley Talk. So if you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, you've been seeing all of these videos. We're doing these interview type things just to get our name out there and try and talk about, kind of how we got started, which is what I'm going to talk about today. So I didn't know about Shirley's Way until a couple years after Mike started it. He started it back in 2013. Yep. So 2013, he started this nonprofit in honor of his mom. So I'm going to ask him a few questions about that, just kind of how that became a thing.
Yeah, when after my mom died, I promised her that we would start something. In a previous episode, I talked about the trials and troubles of trying to get your 501c3 status, because I didn't even know what a 501c3 was. I went out to the Kentucky.gov and set up a nonprofit, and I thought I was ready to go. And paperwork and attorney's fees and everything else, about $5,000 to $6,000 later, we had our 501c3. But I thought once we got that, everybody would believe in your cause, because when you start something, whether it's a charity or a business, you're really passionate about it. Mm-hmm. And you want everybody else to be passionate about it. And you start posting on social media and what you're doing, and crickets. Nobody pays attention. Or you hold your first event and you're standing there hoping that somebody shows up. And it was very eye-opening to see the people that did come and support, and then see the people that didn't come and support. And I know everybody has things that they believe in and activities. And when we did this, my kids were very young and we were involved in the school, and those parents, a lot of them supported us. But you really have that passion and you hope that others have it too. And I never really thought about it. I thought you could create a website and everybody would jump in there and donate money, and it didn't work that way.
No, well, for those that don't know what we do as a charity, why did you decide to do cancer?
Well, when my mom died from cancer, about a week or two before she passed, we knew her time was coming, and everybody came to visit and started sharing horrible stories of people they knew that had cancer, that had lost their home or couldn't keep their utilities on or had no food or chose to die because they didn't have the money to survive. And I was just shocked. I had no idea that this problem existed in the great world that we live in. You know, the United States, argue with me or not, it's the wealthiest country in the world. And we have people sitting there telling me stories of ones they knew that had to choose between food and medicine. And I just was completely shocked. Had no idea that we had this problem in the United States.
So your mom passed in 2011.
2013.
2013, sorry.
She found out in 2011.
Okay, so 2013 she passed from cancer, so you decided to start a nonprofit.
I did, and I've never worked in the nonprofit space.
Yeah. Had
no idea. Like I said earlier, I didn't know what a 501c3 was. Mm-hmm. Went and talked to the company that I worked for and told them I had a nonprofit, and they said, "Are you a 501c3?" And I'm sure I had the deer in the headlights look, because I didn't know what they were talking about. But we went and researched it and figured it out, and as we go, I'm sure we're breaking a lot of rules. And I say rules, I don't mean doing things illegal, but not knowing what a charity is and how people go about raising money. Didn't know.
Yeah. So you mentioned it was $5,000 or $6,000. How did you raise that money?
We sold T-shirts. A friend of mine, Jennifer, in Florida, I went to high school with, I posted on Facebook, "Does anybody know how to create a website?" And she said, "I do." So she stood up a website for us. And it was originally called Cancer is Stupid, because I didn't know what else to call it. And that was the only thing related to cancer that was available. So it's cancerisstupid.org. And I think that still forwards to our website now. But she set it up and put the point of sale out there, the shirts. And, you got a website, you're selling shirts, and then you have that aha moment. I'm one of those that just jumps in feet first and didn't really think things through, to be honest. But she stood up the website and put the shirts out there. I hadn't even talked to anybody about printing shirts. I hadn't thought about shipping shirts. So after she stood it up, I had to find somebody to print the shirts. We started printing bright orange Cancer Sucks shirts and selling them. But I hadn't thought through any of that. So we got 10, 15 orders the first day, and I didn't have a shirt provider, nobody to print the shirts. I didn't think about packing and shipping shirts. It was a mess. It was a complete mess.
Wow. So you sold enough shirts and raised your money for your 501c3?
Yeah.
That's how it started, with selling T-shirts.
Yeah, selling bright orange cancer suck shirts to people at the time. A lot of us were doing the Triple Crowns and the runs in Louisville, and one year we had 90 to 100 people wearing these bright orange shirts, and they had cancer sucks, cancer sucks, cancer is stupid on the front and the back, and it was interesting. We had a mixed reaction. One girl, she was real little, Libby, she's real small, and this guy started up a conversation with her, and she's crying as she's running down, and he was telling her story, and then she would have, I don't know why they picked on Libby, but another person ran up next to her, an older person, and say, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself, young lady, to wear that word on the back of your shirt." And Libby looked her in the eye and say, "The disease is worse than the word," and kept on running. And But yeah, Libby and her husband Tommy still follow us. But of all people to pick on, they pick on the smallest person to either confront or tell the story. And Libby's a nurse, so she's crying as this guy is telling the story when they got to that. But it was pretty emotional. But yeah, we sold enough shirts to cover the cost of getting our 501c3.
That's awesome. So now, 7 years later, and we're here doing digital gaming, digital charitable gaming. I mean, did you ever think in 7 years that was going to be a thing?
I didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
I just thought we would sell some T-shirts and try to hold an event or two and raise some money. And the money we raised, the first year, I think we raised $6,000 outside of the money we raised for the 501c3. So, $10,000, $12,000 for the first year, just playing around. And no, I didn't have a plan to turn anything into what we have now. But here we are.
Yeah, no, and we're doing it. We're doing great. So,
Yeah.
7 years later, how much money have we given away?
We were gonna hit our $1 million give earlier this year, but then COVID hit and it shut us completely down. We were planning a $1 million give party and really trying to get the press involved. But no, we're still giving away a little here and there, but right now we're at $988,000 we've given away since Mom died.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know you talk a lot about how transparent we are as a charity. Most of them that you follow, or if you don't know, you don't know where that money goes half the time. And so Shirley's Way, we try to make sure that everyone knows where it's going. That's why we do all these videos, so you all can see that we're giving this money out and we're helping people.
Yeah, when we first started, I'm not the financial person. So the person at the time, she volunteered to help us get straight, and we got everything on QuickBooks. But I was tracking everything in Quicken, but I couldn't do any reports. I didn't know how to do it. So if I paid out something for somebody, I didn't know how to track it. So I would have Quicken in a spreadsheet. So anybody I put in Quicken, I would put also in so it was very time consuming. I'd be up till 1 a.m. If we wrote a check for somebody, I would also have to enter that stuff into a spreadsheet so I could tell what we had given. But anyway, the financial person, she did a great job. She's not with us anymore, and she really got us on the straight and narrow with QuickBooks, and she did a phenomenal job for us, because when she saw my method, she just started laughing. But I didn't know how to do it. When you start a business, whether it's a charity or not, you become the accountant, the financial person, the marketer, the person writing the checks, the person dealing with the patients, and it was very overwhelming there for a while. And I'm just very blessed that we're at the stage we're at right now. But it was the journey to get here, I tell you.
It's been 7 years, and you've jumped many leaps and boundaries. So is there anything that you would say to anyone that is wanting to start a charity? Or
Yeah, reevaluate it and make sure it's something you want to do. It's a lot of hours. This has turned into a second full-time job for me. And don't get discouraged when you start talking about your cause and you don't see people's eyes light up, because you're going to get a lot of people, your friends, that are going to volunteer, but you have to have a pretty solid base of family and friends, because it takes every one of them to get where you're going. And I was very lucky. I didn't realize how many people that I had befriended over the years that have stepped up and helped us get to where we're at. Because I've done a lot of the work, but if it wasn't for the people that volunteered and stepped up and helped out with our events, we wouldn't have went anywhere. But you have to have a solid base. You have to realize that not everybody's going to believe in your cause at first. It's going to take some time, and it takes a lot to get people to turn loose of their money. We've been working at this for quite a while, and pushing for regular monthly donations has driven my hair gray. But now we're attacking fun stuff with gaming and YouTube videos and just really having some fun with it and still giving back to the community.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm very passionate about this charity. That's why I'm obviously here. But if you are out there and you're looking for a charity to pick up on, please consider us. Very easy. You can become a monthly donor. Just $10 a month goes a long way for a charity like us. I mean, that's, I'm a mathematician there, but $120 a year that you would donate. And
that's a water bill for somebody.
Yeah, that pays somebody's water bill or a utility bill. And that may not seem like a lot to you all, but it's huge to us. So thank you, Mike, for being here. Make sure if you enjoyed this interview here that you go and you watch our other videos and you go to our Shirley's Way channel and subscribe. That's what's going to hopefully push us into the next level of our Shirley's Way talk.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.